Hello, Chaos Chorus! We are here! We are live with One Shot Wednesday, Monster of the Week, the long holiday. And this chair's gotten more comfortable. Sitting here, sitting with all these wonderful peoples, with all of you, as we get ready to get into it. But first, I want to talk to you about some of the wonderful folks involved with the channel. I want to tell you about Helmgast and their wonderful game, Cult Divinity Lost, which if you have the inclination, you love some horror, stay tuned after this to catch the penultimate episode of I Am Pilgrim. I know I will. But also we have the wonderful folks over at World Anvil who help out around here. If you are a fan of shows like Eclipse, if you're a fan of shows like The Crownlands, hell, if you're a fan of this little show, the sister, mother, grandfather show of The Crownlands, After the Fire, you can catch a bunch of wonderful, juicy details over on World Anvil. And if you are a writer, if you are a game player, if you want to build a world, World Anvil is there for you. So by all means, please check these wonderful people out. And if you've got the time, give them a little bit of dosh. And with that, let me tell you a bit about where we are, when we are. We are playing Monster of the Week, brought to you by Evil Hat. Also, quick shout-outs to Mage Hand Press with Dark Matter. If you want to play 5e in space, check out Dark Matter. And the wonderful folks over at Modifius, publishers of so many wonderful titles, and they just recently put out the Klingon campaign book for Star Trek Adventures. Kapla! So if you want to check that out, by all means, tune in tomorrow for some Sword of Kalis. But yes, we've got so many good things in store. I believe there's a one-shot also coming up involved for Parslings, I believe, tomorrow. So stay tuned, check that out. And the VOD, I know, should be up for yesterday's one-shot of Big Strong Hands. So if you want to see some of those critters that these guys like to swat living in harmony in a nice place, like who does that? Check out Big Strong Hands. So now we're in Longfellow, Florida. Longfellow is an interesting place. It is just close enough to the coast, the east coast of Florida, that locals want to, hop into the car, go for a beach day, they can, but it is far enough away that, the spring breakers, the tourists, they don't come here. This is old Florida, filled with Spanish moss, inclement weather, mosquitoes, and secret, terrible, terrible secrets. And one of them is that one can have power for a price. All you have to do is make a deal. But before we get into deals and dealing with dealers, we zoom in on the local Waffle House, that bastion of greasy spoon southern diner cuisine, a refuge for the drunk, the disorderly, and the defeated. And gathered round the table are the long faces of some who have already faced one hell of a defeat. So, Mecca, by all means, please describe your character. Go into detail. Tell us how they're feeling, how they're doing, and what they're eating.
Okay. He is a tall man wearing a nice white three-piece suit, long black hair over swept back, freckles on his face, and nice pale blue eyes. But currently he's adoring a black eye, bloody nose, and he probably like split lip as well. He is just looks and feels horrible, like trash. And as he like puts his face on his hand on his head, sorry, his face on his hand, uh, you see like a subtle as he's eating his food, a subtle shift and like slight, not very noticeable, only if you were looking golden below as his powers go over his face and all of that detail of pain just kind of slowly drifts away as he's eating what he's ordered: a 2 egg breakfast with sausage, a city ham, and hash browns, drinking some hot tea.
Excellent. And sitting nearby is Anka. How are you doing? How's your character? What are they eating?
Well, Neve is this very short girl with green hair, half a head shaven, huge black leather jacket, severely oversized, sleeves a bit folded up. She is sitting there, her face also in her hand, although no magical healing happening. She looks like she is sporting a serious headache. And she is already going through her third cup of black coffee and tucking in a huge waffle, probably bigger than herself, with some extra ice cream because she's not dealing with all this without sugar and caffeine.
Sugar and coffee, a good way to nurse a headache. Speaking of headaches, Colin, please, by all means, describe your wonderful character, how they're feeling, how they're doing, and what they're eating.
Zyphos is an average height. He has very notable piercing blue eyes, as well as when he smiles, you can see 2 very subtle fangs, where his canines would normally be. A very notable scar from the top left of his lip up to his ear. Long hair tied down into a ponytail on his right side, wearing a black turtleneck shirt with a blue sweater over it, which is kind of weird considering Florida tends to be really humid and gross. Though he is notably less roughed up than the rest of the gang, only like a scrape on his nose. He seems to be in much better shape than the rest of them, as he's just kind of sitting, eating slowly, not eating, kind of a lighter breakfast of hash browns and bacon with some dark roast coffee.
Coffee's all around, it seems. But speaking of dark and terrible, Cole, how are you doing? Tell us about your character, how they're feeling, and what they're eating.
Eris, who looks very similar, and by similar I mean identical to Zyphos, hair parted the opposite way, undercut hair about to the shoulder, sporting what looks to be a broken nose and scuffed up, dirty, looking very generally grumpy. And he is drinking coffee, and he has a ham and cheese omelet. And he's kind of just slowly picking at it because he just looks more angry than anything else.
Speaking of anger, Cream Soda, how you doing, buddy? and tell us all about our resident badass, their current disposition, and what they're digging into.
Oh, well, Nick, aka Ghost Rider, is a very stout and sturdy 5'10", long hair, little past shoulder length that he has tied back up with a red bandana. He has the sort of look of a very disgruntled hair metal band member. Just completely looks as though everyone is giving him some piece of bad information at every possible second. At the moment, he has his own biker jacket slung over the back of his chair as he is hunched over just a platter of Texas bacon patty melt with the biggest glass of Coke that they could give him. And he is just not ready for the day that's about to happen
Again.
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 I realized I forgot to say my character's name.
Well, please share it, Mecca.
His name is Mikkel Perseus.
Okay. So we see this merry band of misfits in the neon glow early in the morning of the Waffle House. Smells of coffee and the groaning of those who have been through hell and have to go back in. You see, not too long ago, in fact, less than a week, an old friend of Nick's named Bill decided to give them a call because he knows Nick's a bit of a fixer, has some heavy hitters in his little circle, as people had gone missing here in Longfellow. That's nothing new. Florida is notorious for runaways and the trade of human trafficking. But it was unusual and alarming, as among the missing were a police officer and a friend of Bill's daughter. And so the former outlaw biker took it upon himself to bring in people who could solve a strange and terrible problem. Speaking of Bill, Nick, you get a text message. So, give me a status report and please tell me some good fucking news.
I text back saying, no change. I've got no good news to give. We'll keep looking into it.
You get those notorious 3 dots.
I just
and
put my phone face down onto the counter and I slide it over to Aries. Your go. I'm not dealing with this one.
And I type in his code. What does it say?
You turn it on. There's still the notorious 3 dots.
I'm just gonna text. Still working on it. I was gonna say something. I just totally blanked. Oh my gosh. Still working on it. Calm down. Everything's fine. We got this. Push the phone back.
Finally, after all that, just as you're about to put it on silent, a wall of text comes through. a sailor's rundown of colorful language, but filtering through the anger of biker dad. There is little bits of information that stand out to you. One is that Bill has managed to clear up that incident that happened last night with the cops. That wasn't subtle. And has for you another lead as he's gone back and done some digging after that exchanging of words between him and Nick. That leads you to a law office. The law offices of Holden and Reeves, as Elaine Lassiter, a secretary for the firm, was one of the first missing. If you guys have the time and the inclination, he's gotten you a 3 p.m. meeting. The clock on the diner wall reads 10 a.m.
Oh shit, what did he hire us for?
Before we start discussing Bill and his poor temper, is it only me that has the worst déjà vu of my fucking life? This headache. I will recognize it forever because not every day you get 2,000 years of life. Just upload it to your brain. Shouldn't we
Are
be
you
more
right?
worried about that?
2,000 years of what? Life? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Remember last
I wasn't
2
there.
nights ago? I was quite unconscious. I thought we explained why that happened. That was
I thought
because
you were drinking.
no,
Or
that
whatever.
was a mortal man sharing too many of his thoughts. But he wasn't sharing anything, and then just sharing everything all at once. That's the headache. So
Well,
no one else
drink
is
a lot of
having
water, I
horrible pleasure.
suppose. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling a headache from being punched in the face.
I also look over at Eris and see that Eris not eating much, just kind of picking things and say, you should really eat. You need your strength.
Doesn't matter when they're probably just gonna wake up here again.
You don't know that.
Thank you. I'm not going mad. Or at least I'm not going mad alone. Nice.
I mean, we're all a little crazy. Like, that's just like a given. Like,
Yeah.
where the hell do we start?
I think I would like to start with us and have a good look with the site on all of us to see if there is any magical residue of all of us. Did we did that thing to ourselves? Was it
Maybe we should go to a
ordinary,
different location before.
worldly thing?
We're in public right now.
I'm just looking.
Yeah.
Calm down, Mom.
As you say, calm down, Mom. As if on cue, your waitress, lady, fairly heavily built, probably in her late 40s, early 50s, wearing the name tag Janice, comes over with that industrial size pot of coffee. Oh, You dudes need a few extras? Refills?
That,
If you would,
that
that'd
would
be nice.
great.
Maybe
Between
just
all of your
water for.
mugs. Oh, I'll get you a water, sweetie.
I meant for
Yeah.
Eve. She needs it. She's got a headache.
Oh,
Don't know if coffee will
well.
help that.
Well, there are worse things you can do. And she turns around, heads off, comes back just a few moments later with a big thing of water and the classic 2 little bits of lemon hanging off the side of the glass. Sets it down and then heads back off as you've all been picking at your food. So you want to try the site?
I want to try a site to see if I can assess what scent did this whole tiny whiny thing to us.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give me a roll. I believe for the site, it's sort of like investigate a mystery.
Yes.
And that runs on sharp. Unless yours, because you are spooky, might run on weird?
No, I think it's a normal
Okay, so
sharp.
that would be on sharp. Okay.
Mixed success of 8.
Okay, a mixed success on investigate a mystery, but with the site. So you get to hold 1. Now, you can ask a single question off of our menu on investigate a mystery. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
Well, I guess the closest of what I'm trying to assess here is what happened here, as in, or maybe what creature it is. Yeah, what creature did this whole deja vu shenanigans?
Okay,
Woo-woo
so you take
shenanigans.
you open yourself up to the dark and terrible powers lying inside you, still nursing a 2,000-year-old migraine. And you take a gander through blurry eyes at yourselves and your compatriots. There is definite mystical residue in your auras. But it is this weird jumbling mix, something that you're not really familiar with. It has hints at some of the things that you guys have encountered in previous adventures, but it also just has this weird sort of almost staticky resonance to it that speaks to some sort of magic that you are not familiar with.
Guys, we might be dealing with stuff we have no idea about. Ha, wondrous. I'm getting some definite hints of Fae, definitely, but also just pure alien weird.
Maybe ritualistic magic was used to conceal more. I don't know. On something the scale of what you're describing.
Concealed. It doesn't feel like it's concealed. It just feels like it's shit we haven't encountered before.
So hear me out. What if we just let the Fae have this town?
I disagree completely.
Surprise.
I mean, tempting.
Shock horror.
Wonder who's holding your money.
Also, I live here.
I
They're
mean,
not
you're
like
This
usually
place
on the
goes
road
right
with
by
us,
the way.
though. But you're like
I mean,
usually on
yeah.
the road with us. So like you
I
would be
mean-
fine.
I like the place away from you all sometimes.
And on the note
don't really
of having a place, thank you, Celeste, for those big crits. They're going to need it.
Stop saying that.
We will.
Okay.
Oh, but I only speak the truth.
Mm.
Now then.
So, while ditching this stuff is very tempting, don't we have this like overarching mission of stopping the end of the world? Because I quite enjoy the world. I am not keen on it ending, so we probably should interact with whatever is happening.
I
I
agree.
mean, at some attempt we will sort it out, right? Hey. Yeah, okay. No, I don't want to repeat today. This breakfast happening twice is twice too many.
Well, the fact I
I
have
say
to
let's
feel
go
this.
find the ghost.
Okay.
I mean,
So, where to first?
we got
Well, we
time
have-
to kill before.
The meeting.
What you said.
Maybe we should try and find the daughter instead of asking Bill about it, because we need to maybe go to the school. We haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, we can.
I want to mess with Bill.
Bill didn't seem very keen on us talking to
We
his
don't have-
daughter.
We don't have to tell him about it.
Just to remind you
No.
guys, it's Saturday.
That too.
Not.
Oh, we can.
We can't do it today.
But yeah, before the meeting, we have some time. We could scout out the fairy circle again. I don't think we destroyed it yet. We can scout out cemetery and talk to the ghosts. We can go to the church and see if horrible things happen instantly if we arrive there and we get reset to breakfast again. Some things we can do before the meeting.
Off game. How
What
much
is-
can we remember of before we reset?
I will grant each of you a sharp roll. Or a more difficult weird roll.
I've got a -1 in sharp, so I'll take the weird.
I'll take the weirdest one.
I'm
I'll
also
take the
gonna
sharp.
take weird.
So
For
I'm using
those
my.
of you who are taking the weird, you only succeed at all on a 10+.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'll use my
no.
forwards.
Oh, never mind. I go with sharp.
Statistically,
I'm gonna go with my +1
that would be
forwards from
Okay,
Celeste's thing.
God.
so
I'm
you'll
gonna
get a
roll.
reroll.
And I'm not gonna look. Here I go.
I'm gonna
I got a 5.
lie.
I got 12.
Okay, so you can reroll.
Ha ha! I rolled above the 6, guys.
Wait. So you're saying I can reroll? Do I reroll?
Yes, you get to reroll that.
Okay.
You get to reroll
Yeah,
what
I'll
you
wait
rolled
for-
previous. So you rolled with weird, so you can roll weird again.
I'll wait for Mecca's
Well, still
reroll.
doesn't help. 6,
Well,
5, and a
Alright.
for
6.
those of you
Oh
who,
no! I cursed Mecca. Mecca, I'm so sorry.
I was rolling so well
Hey.
in 0.5 seconds. 2
so
fails.
for those of you who failed, please mark experience. Joy to the system. It rewards you for failure. So
I leveled up our
Mecca,
session 0.
so Mecca has rolled a 5 and a 6 both failures with weird. Anka,
I'm
Neve has
rerolling.
managed to roll a 6 with sharp. That's
4 with a reroll. Beautiful.
4 with the reroll. Delightful. For Ghost Rider, you have 7 on a sharp, which is a mixed success. Delightful. And for our our friend Eris. You've gotten a 7 on sharp, mixed success. And Zyphos with a 12. Okay.
Good rolls continue.
That's a weird one.
We live to maybe see another the same day.
So,
Do these tacos taste funny to you?
for those of
Oh,
you,
got that reference.
well, there's only one of you who failed on weird. So, hi, Michael.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh no.
Mikhail isn't feeling too good right now.
no. Something about trying to remember, plus that delightful greasy spoon cuisine, plus the previous day's roughing up. It's just not sitting too well. You might want to rush to a bathroom before you create a scene.
Oof.
As for those of you who have a mixed success with Sharp, going to our buddies Eris and Ghost Rider. So, Ghost Rider, I'm going to give you this. You remember more of the details of your meeting with Bill, which have been fuzzy. Because everybody went and met Bill before you, and then you went and talked to your old buddy on your lonesome. There, they gave you a list of probable mystical suspects based upon their primitive detective skills and understanding of the occult. You remember that it's with a care package he gave you. A 45 revolver with some silver bullets. So, you have that list, you have that gun, you have those bullets. Eris, you remember that y'all got bupkis going to the spring and investigating that fairy ring. In fact, you think you may have even possibly tipped off those responsible by investigating the fairy ring. Now, our darling boy Zyphos. You remember the fight. You guys, after hitting pretty much everything wrong the night before, guessing everything wrong, you managed to get to the church, St. Martin's, abandoned at the edge of town. You busted in just as the ritual was at the height of completion between an individual an older male gentleman, you don't know the name, but you remember his eyes, and you remember the feeling of him punching you with strength far greater than any human. And you remember another face, a face of something truly inhuman, too beautiful to be real, with teeth as shiny as moon silver, and eyes more deep in purple than any royal robe in history. Bright eyes, staring, laughing at you. And you remember that in the scuffle, well, a number of things in that ritual circle got knocked over. And that's the last thing you remember about that night.
Yeah. Why do Fae always have to be so pretty? Why can't they just be big, angry monsters that we have to fight instead of being weird, beautiful women that want to kill us at the same time?
I'll be right back, everybody. Sorry about this. And Mikhail rushes off.
All right, have fun.
Anyone who has had a bad Waffle House day knows it's never fun.
And yet you'll probably end up there again.
Right.
Probably. Right. So, where should we go before the meeting at 3 o'clock?
Not the spring.
I think we
Doors?
should check out the
Doors.
church.
Okay.
The church.
Oh, now you want to check out the church.
I don't like
Well, yes.
churches. They just give
You're
me
not here.
I know. I was saying that out of game.
I swear you mentioned a church and it's like he knows.
He feels
Hello,
it.
everybody, I'm Blazing Divine.
Oh yes, time to go home.
I'd say about 5 minutes later, Mikkel would return.
Feeling
Looking a bit
okay?
paler. I don't know, I just tried to remember and... a bit shaky.
Too much.
Oh, did you think too hard?
You wouldn't know what that's like.
Ooh. Shit. Yeah, that was pretty good.
See, I'm learning, I'm picking up new things.
Yeah.
See?
You're almost intimidating.
If I want to be intimidating, I would just stop talking.
That's probably for the best. No offense. A little offense. Anyway,
Off to a wonderful start today.
the state has not started good. Ever. We go to the church then.
Yes,
Or
let's
we
go to the
just-
church.
We clearly
Yeah.
disrupted something. That's probably why what's happening is happening.
Oh, how about instead of going personally to church, maybe we scry the church first? It's just, I don't remember much from what happened when we went to the church, but I
remember
have
anything.
this deep feeling of, yikes, don't. So,
Maybe
had not putting our bodies in there again, maybe?
instead
Not
of putting our
without
minds in terror.
preparation?
Let's say
What was
they have
that,
something against scrying in the church. Let's say they have something against scrying, so when people start scrying, they can immediately see you back, kind of thing. I've heard of magic like
Pretty
that.
protected, that's true.
Yeah, but if we physically go there, they will definitely see us. If
Yeah,
we
they-
just
they are.
try
Through a
to
window.
go. So,
I mean, I think I would fit in a church. I could just act like I belong. I've been in many.
they've seen you. If we are looping, they are looping. They've seen you, they will recognize you.
Hmm.
I feel like they know where to come in. no
We
matter
could
what.
ask some. We could ask some rando that we find.
We could just ask
and
somebody
say,
to go
"Hey,
pay their respects. See what.
Uh,
what are you gonna
So,
do? Are you gonna walk up to someone and say, "Repent for your sins"?
I'll just be like, I can't go this afternoon. Please put these flowers on a person's grave.
Zyphos, I'll give you this. It's an abandoned church.
I like to think he
Yeah.
knows this, and he's just letting them fight over this just for fun.
Chaotic. We love to see it.
well, the only way this is going, Neve pulls out her oversized bag, pulls out one of the maps we got from a petrol station, and open it on search for the church location. Open it on the page, pull out some magic markers, and start scribbling magical runes around the map, and then goes.
Okay, so
In the
how
middle
are we
of a
going
Waffle
about
House,
this?
just
Yes.
Yeah,
Just in
just no concern.
no. You should. Okay.
If
So,
anybody
are
starts
we
looking
doing
over,
some magic here? Tell me, what move are you making? Amethyst, are you going to use some magic? Or you
I
got
can't believe we're gonna blow up the Waffle House.
I'm using magic trying to see. Do I have enough points?
Okay, so
Do
this
I
this
roll
feels like
weird?
a use magic.
Yep,
Yeah, you rolled
definitely
weird.
use magic. Okay.
We will see how this goes in the middle of a public place. Very little preparation and no
Are
special
there like
materials.
people looking?
No, there's
looking
tons of people
over.
there, but no one pays attention to another person in the Waffle House.
We keep our shames
Yeah,
to
I'm
ourselves,
wondering
damn it. Respect.
Yes. Except for those theater
Alright.
people that show up at 1 a.m. So go ahead and roll some magic.
Can I help?
delightful.
Am I allowed to
Oh.
help? Because I'm right
no.
here and I know rooms.
Oh no! We have gone bold, we have gone brash, and we have failed. Be sure to mark experience.
I'm going to level up today.
Delightful.
I only need two.
If I
more
can
fails.
get you all to level up today before killing you all, I will be so happy.
Don't joke like that.
So, I only speak the truth. So, good news, no one's dead. Bad news. So you take those otherworldly energies, you take your magic markers, you scribe on this map, and you center around the markings where you think St. Martin's Church is, for it has been abandoned for decades, but still it stands. And you focus and are channeling, and something happens, something wondrous, as your map bursts into a magnificent conflagration on the table. Such a pyre has erupted spontaneously that the sprinklers in the restaurant go off. People panicking, mayhem, chaos. No one knows what they're doing. Oh, and because this magic in a place with technology, every single light, every single bit of large tech shorts, sparks, and the entire place quickly lights up. And as a further complication, none of your phones will work for a while.
I just dropped my phone into my pocket dimension because I can't even be bothered.
Fair.
I just put it in my pocket and
So
it
what
has like
y'all do?
there's not even.
So the whole everything, there's fire. It's flames.
It's magic going wrong is delightfully cataclysmic in this system. And yeah, there's fire everywhere. There's this big pyre at your table. You are all wet, incredibly wet. There's smoke. People are panicking, bailing out of this place as quick as they can. It's tile floors, wet tile floors. Oh no, this is just, if everything could go wrong, it has.
I am going to get up, and I'm going to grab Neve and my brother. I'll gesture for Ghost Rider to grab Mikkel, and just gonna be like, "This day fucking sucks. Let's get out of here."
as we're leaving, I'm
Yeah,
just like, casual
It's another
Saturday, huh?
incident.
Welcome to America.
Neva's just hugging her huge back to her chest and is like, definitely letting bigger people shuffle her out of the place. But,
No,
I
like,
will,
wow.
I will. If there's anybody else who hasn't managed to escape, I will go and help them.
Quickly, the Waffle House has depopulated itself. There
As
is
one
not a
does,
chance.
and it spontaneously combusts.
Yes, as one does in Florida, when a Waffle House spontaneously combusts, you leave in a quick fashion. And people are piling out, wet, cursing, heading for their vehicles, and no one wants to be here when emergency services arrive. They're people with stuff to do. So it's only the folks that work here that are left behind as you guys pile out. Where are you headed?
I'm so glad I didn't store anything in my room. Wait, no, the Waffle House wasn't our rooms, it was in, wasn't it?
No, we're staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
Neve is just
Probably-
clinging to Aris as like, let's go wherever before anyone notices it. And she's
Next
like,
place we go, you're not using magic.
Yes, I'd say it's not a good idea to use magic while having a headache.
Yeah,
What?
listen here, Murphy's Law. The only reason you're not in big trouble is because my phone's busted, so Bill can't be riding me about whatever we find out, or lack thereof. But you are on thin ice right now.
Don't be too
That's not
to
coming from
anger.
Ghost Rider.
Don't be too
"Oh,
quick to
yeah,
anger
it's
Ghost.
best."
Sure, we
Also-
It
can
has
find
been a day.
Yes, indeed.
Also, I'm the one that had a hand on an exploding book.
Well, now we've lost our map and our phones, so I guess we'll
It's a
have
small
to
town,
ask
but
for
how many
directions.
can get lost in?
I mean, hey, look on the bright side. No one can call the cops because their phones don't work.
Yet. Oh yeah.
That's fair.
It's like us.
So maybe
Cops
instead
are
of
already on the bad side of it.
casting magic on the church, maybe we just head there. Or do we want to go back to our
Yes,
rooms?
let's
What
head-
are we doing?
I feel like this explosion is a sign about what is waiting us in the church.
Well, my suit is soaking, so I'm gonna go to my room and get myself a new one.
I like to imagine that
Probably a good
Mikkel's
idea.
like in his room,
Yeah,
like
it's just
the
its only suit.
typical cartoon character wardrobe, the same outfit.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
it.
it
It's
sounds
just-
like you guys in sopping wet clothes in Florida heat and humidity,
Ugh.
so you don't get dry.
Okay, yeah, back
Squish
to the room. Back to the room.
your
Back to the room.
Squish your way back to the hotel.
the only
The young desk clerk just looks at you slightly in disbelief, except for you, Mikkel, who he just gives you the stink eye
I will not
as you
hold
guys
him
head
as
to
I
the
promised.
elevator.
I
As
made
you
a
head
promise,
to the
everybody.
elevator, and you head up to your rooms, you get a change of clothes, you gather yourselves together. Interestingly enough, when you look at the time, it's 1 p.m.
The fuck? I mean, wasn't it just like 10?
How long did we walk?
Yeah.
Let's
You
let's
could have
go into the
sworn
city.
the walk was only 30 minutes.
I believe you now. That there's some time bullshit going on. I don't really remember much from whatever happened.
Oh,
You said bullshit. God almighty.
I'm so sorry. I'm learning the wrong lessons. I've been hanging around you too much. Anyways, where should we head now?
Should we skip and pop straight to the meeting and see if we
Probably.
can get anything out of that? And if not, we can go to church, face our doom.
Should we try and talk to Detective Stone? We didn't get to talk to him last night. Maybe we can try and visit his office?
I was gonna say,
I think it would be better to call him if our phones would work.
Yeah, our phones aren't working and it's 1 p.m. now, so I think we are, we have to get through the day.
Probably want to head to the meeting, considering
Yeah, maybe.
In
time.
case crime nonsense happens again.
Maybe we should get a cab there.
the
can
next
we
question
have
is
people?
who's going
We have
to be
people.
in the meeting? Are we all going?
I'm assuming Nick would have to be there. Considering.
Unfortunately.
I
Exactly.
know it's hard. I'm not good with people, as everybody would know. But I can be there as some prop muscle, I suppose.
I mean, I can only try to
I think
see
you
what
should take
they're
a break
thinking
after
while
this
other
morning.
people are talking. It's
We should all go. Just some people would talk and some people won't.
Yes, I don't like the idea of splitting up when we don't know how time works now. For all we know, we could find
Yeah,
each other 10 minutes later or tomorrow.
Well, if there is a
or
tomorrow,
100 years later.
that wouldn't be too bad for me. Maybe a bit for
So
you.
let's make our way that way then.
Okay, let's go. Are we gonna get the cab there or?
You have vehicles,
Yeah, we have vehicles. We just drive.
but
Yeah,
you
of course.
can
I have a
get
motorcycle.
an Uber or a cab if you want.
Ooh, if we took Uber, we can talk like there was an Uber
can find
driver.
the
That was the
city,
last
so-
kidnapped person.
Eris is going on his motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm
No,
hopping on mine.
I'm going on
No
the
Uber.
motorbike variant. That's it. Irresistible.
it's a pretty nice bike.
Zyphos, you want to join me in my car?
Sure.
It's a Bentley.
Of course it is.
How can you import that?
Okay. So this ragtag motorcade of two motorcycles and a Bentley
Ride it in
makes
style.
its way to the law offices of Holden and Reeves. It's towards downtown, so an area that you have made yourselves familiar with. Your bribs and your faces definitely feel it. As you turn corner to this surprisingly small edifice in this area of mix of pseudo high rises and preserved historical buildings, there is one building like it probably was made sometime in the 50s, brick edifice, tiny, but long, 2-story. That is the law offices of Holden and Reeves. Old wooden doors. There's actually even a little plaque on the side. It said these doors were from the very first Mason's Lodge ever built in Longfellow. They have been preserved here at these law offices. You walk in and you're greeted with by a male secretary. At least I think he's the secretary. Fellow looks to be in his mid-50s. Salutations. Are you the ones mentioned by Mr. Rivers taking a meeting about our missing person?
Yes, that is us.
Oh, excellent. Normally, it would be Elaine who would be welcoming you, but it's just me right now. Fortunately, Morgan's out on vacation, so it's just me. The name's Jonathan Holden. Pleasure to meet you all. Please come in. There's coffee if you want some, and I think we still have some little noshes about if you need anything. But no, it's good to see that somebody's actually looking into this. Cops seem to be sitting on their damn hands.
Yes.
So, what can I tell you? How can I help?
I guess, what was the last time you saw
Elaine?
Yes, sorry.
It was the day of her going missing, which was I think 8 days ago. It's been 8. Heavens. Again, just normal work day. Again, it was a Friday. We're open 9 to 6. She was in pretty good spirits. She was making plans. In fact, she was supposed to be taking vacation this weekend. No, just general normal business day. Nothing exceedingly interesting. Again, we specialize here in contract law, but most of our clients are more interested in getting their wills made or incorporating. But occasionally we get a few contracts in. But yeah, it was quite a day. I left a little bit early. I left at 5. That was the last time I saw her. She books up, so she usually leaves here around 6:30.
And does she live with anyone? Does she live alone?
Elaine, she's relatively young, recently divorced, but I doubt it's her ex. I mean, he's all the way up in Jacksonville. I doubt he drive the 3 hours down here to abduct her, and I don't see him going about, abducting cops and kids. I mean, he was a foul man, but he wasn't that foul.
Does she have any neighbors? Anyone who might have seen her last, do you think?
From the arm twisting I tried plying the police, it seems like she never made it home.
Did she drive? Does she walk? Bike?
She drives. Drives a gray Ford Taurus.
Where was the last place we saw her vehicle?
The cops haven't been able to find it.
Do you
missing
know
along
what
with her,
route
then?
she takes home?
It's pretty clear shot from here. You just drive back onto Main, head down a few miles, take a left onto Browning, and then head into the subdivision.
How are we certain that she didn't just leave if her vehicle's missing too?
So far, again, missing persons report, nothing's turned up anywhere.
Interesting.
Alright, so she disappeared between here and her house. Her vehicle is also missing. That's interesting, because I think most people disappeared in transit.
Most
Also,
Almost all of them, I think.
Out
We
of
don't have our
character
map,
question.
right? Because it's in flames. Oh.
By all
out of-
means.
Out of character question. I Neve, it's not me that I forgot about it. Neve just remembered that she did see a part of a plate of the suspect in one of her visions. And I was wondering, does this guy look like he might have a way to track that? No. Okay.
Well, again, you'd more likely have more luck with cops.
Yeah, I
looking
don't
at
think
tracking license
we are vibing with we are all not vibing with cops. uh,
So she went missing while still in this building.
I don't know. I mean, I left early. Morgan was still here when I left, but aside from the two of them, I think there may have been a 5 o'clock meeting, but it wasn't one of my clients.
I have a question. Do you have security cameras in this building?
No, we don't have the wiring for it. This is a historical building.
Shame.
mm,
Do you know anybody else who's around the building inside, or do you guys clock in and clock out when you're inside?
Again, we're rather informal here. Aside from two others, it's primarily just Morgan and myself. We've got two young up-and-coming lawyers working for the firm, and then Len is incredible and is able to handle most of the secretarial work.
So you left
You
early.
mentioned the 5 o'clock meeting that wasn't with one of the usual clients.
I can see if it's written down here. Give me a second. He heads off, goes, grabs a book. Yes, there was a meeting with a Carl Price here. He was looking about doing I think the note here, her handwriting is in shorthand. I think he was looking to self-incorporate, if I'm reading it correctly.
Could we get any sort of like phone number to just maybe ask him if maybe he has something that could help us find her? Any details could be important.
I don't usually like giving client information out, but I guess I can make a. Actually, you know what? I want you to roll to persuade.
Fingers crossed.
So roll with charm.
Okie doke. Ha!
So
Swish.
12. Nice. All right. So
You've made
manipulate
big
someone.
green eyes at him, and she looks so earnest.
So he'll do it. He will get you the phone number. You notice just then your phone's kind of flickering on and off like it's trying to work.
I will let
But
another person that doesn't have a lot of magical aura going on drive their phone. That's for sure.
I will write the phone number down
Oh yeah.
till
Yeah,
for when my
you-
phone starts working again, I guess.
You manage to write it down, but you also notice that in the moment when you guys are looking at your phones, it's flickering between 3:30 p.m. and then occasionally it will say 7:30 p.m.
Your name is Jonathan, correct?
Yes, Jonathan Holden.
Sorry, my phone's being a bit weird. Time zones and all that. I'm sure you understand. What time is it right now?
Pulls out his phone. It's 3:30.
Right, thank you. Sorry. My phone's saying it's for 7, you know, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, and I barely use mine.
Yes. Technology is a bit odd, I'd say.
Okay, guys. We have number 2, Carl Price, who wants to self-incorporate. This is out of character. Or outside of the office, one or the other.
Well, thank you for your time, John.
Yes, by all means, thank you. I guess I'll keep in touch with your primary client, which I'm guessing is Bill.
Yes, that's correct. Just
Okay.
keep light on him because he's obviously going through a lot right now.
A lot of folks are going through a lot. But odd fellow, but he seems like he's got his heart in the right place.
One last
Yes,
thing.
indeed.
Do you happen to know a man by this description? And he'll give the description of the weirdly strong man that he remembers from the last night.
You give description of the body and just shakes his head, but you give description of the face and goes, well, aside from can't be. Aside from the musculature, that sounds like Morgan.
Morgan? Who is this Morgan?
He's my partner here at the firm.
Would
Right.
Morgan have any? Does he have any? What kind of man is he? That's a good question. What kind of person would you say he is?
He's my friend. He's a good man. I mean, we've been working together for 20 some odd years. And he looked at Elaine almost like a daughter. No, it can't be him. You must be mistaken.
Is he
I'm
in
not
today?
saying it's him. I'm just saying.
No, Morgan. Again, part of why Elaine's was going to go on vacation this weekend was Morgan's on vacation, and I'm going to be going. Well, I was to be going myself on Wednesday.
So you're all leaving the firm?
Well, no, just temporarily. I mean, it's the off season. Most people aren't here.
Does Morgan live in town?
Yes.
Would you mind giving us his address? Just a few questions. I don't think it's him. But...
We need all the
You
information
don't
we
go
can
to
get.
law school and not be able to read people. It's not him, and I think our meeting here is done.
Please, if you just give us an address, we'll leave. We'll get out of your hair.
Please leave.
Neve will grab
Uh,
Mikael's elbow and just make like a small tag at his elbow sleeve.
Fine, we will leave. But just know, we're just trying to do everything we can for this case. Not trying to do anything out of sorts. And if it wasn't him, we would know. But we'll leave.
Go. Please.
I saw.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Holden.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Zyphos just gonna like start pushing Mikkel out. It's like,
Yep. Ushering.
As soon as I get out the door, I'm like, guys, it's...
As soon as you get out of the door, a large bird craps on your head.
Fucking, what the fuck? Mikkel isn't having a good day.
Oh no, for real?
I use lay on hands to get rid of it. That's how annoyed I am.
Please make a roll.
I just use my magic to get rid of it.
it's gonna fail.
Fuck.
Yep.
What's wrong with me? So that means I take damage
I'm
as
so
well.
sorry, Becca. It has to be me. I'm so sorry.
I also take damage from that.
Yes, yes you do. So mark your harm
Yep.
as going about things not quite the right way has cost you a little. But as in your pain and in your suffering, you look down and you manage to see that in that moment there is a business card that has lodged into the sidewalk. You pick it up, and it's a business card for Morgan Reeves. It has the address of here, but it does have his personal cell phone number on it.
Only a guilty man was trying to offend somebody that much.
Glad I'm not the only one that thought that was strange. Pretty
I'm
abrupt.
getting muted.
People can get defensive when you accuse someone that's they're loyal to.
Yes, but that was a bit strange, I'm going to be honest.
So, Nick, you were going to say something earlier.
I was gonna say before we head out from the law offices, I wanted to try to use my grifter background with manipulate someone to get a little more information from Mr. Jonathan in the law firm there.
I can say, let's make a deal. You give me a luck as you are walking out the door, and I will let you have a roll.
Deal.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll.
All right. I will also add, as a grifter, when I manipulate someone, I can ask you directly, what will convince this person to do what I want?
Okay. Make that roll.
All right. Did it go through? Oh, there we go.
Okay, mixed success.
Okay.
So this is on manipulate someone, modified one, is what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
Okay. So 7 to 9. They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. and you get the added thing of how can you get them to do what you want. So I'm guessing you want to get the address.
Yes, if possible.
I won't give you his personal address. That's just asking for his salt. But I can give you, if he's still in town, one of his favorite watering holes. He likes to go over to Avalon at the dock side. It's a nice fish place. If he's still in town, they'll know because he goes there just habitually. All right?
Understood.
All right.
Give my
So
regards to
where are you
Bill. Also, tell him that my phone ain't working, so don't call it ever again at all live.
Nick, could
Yeah.
you call in one of your favors, one of your many friends, and maybe you could track the truck? You remember the guy? To just confirm, is this the same
Yeah.
guy? So we had half of the plate and the vehicle description.
Yeah, I could give it a shot. If any one of us has a working phone or knows where one is.
Mine is kind of working. It seems to be doing better. So maybe they're all recovering.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna roll some stuff back. As Mikkel, actually, yeah. For a moment, things go weird. There's a bit of static. All of your visions go slightly wonky. We jump back to as you guys are leaving the law office. You still get everything in that small conversation there, Nick. But as Mikkel is coming out in a huff, he just slightly trips on his way out. And in that moment of tripping, he sees that particular card lodged in the sidewalk. A large raven perches on the top of the law office and just looks down, caws at all of you, and then heads off.
Why couldn't it have been?
Time on your phones is 5:30.
Time is acting very weird right now. I feel like we should get a move on.
Should probably
Now
have
I'm
to
getting a
drink.
headache. Boy.
Also, why does it always have to be ravens? Why? Why can't it ever be like a nice
I
bird?
don't
It's
know, maybe
always
they're
omens of
Ravens
death.
are
Like
nice.
what?
maybe they're a
I don't
fan
know
of
what
Edgar Allan Poe. With the Raven Devil.
Okay, are we going to Avalon then? And are we calling in some favors to double check the half plate we have?
Feel like Avalon might be at least a good point if this guy's become our prime suspect.
The level of recognition that he had when I described who it was, I feel like he might be.
Yeah, it would be good to put an eyeball on him to see if his silhouette rings any bells. I've seen our suspect naked, so
I forgot about that.
Neve did it.
Well, there's only a silhouette from what you said.
Right. Vroom to Avalon and hope that too much time doesn't disappear.
He's hoping.
Okay, so you guys off to Avalon. Traffic is weird. As you're getting there, you're stopped at a light. And then things hiccup. And it seems for a split second you are actually parked behind yourselves. And then things snap back. And in that moment, you're going through the light, and then in the next moment, you're at Avalon.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
I'm
This is
going to get used to that. Ugh.
Yeah, this is not a spell, this is a broken spell. That's why everything is so fucked.
I
This
did
is
knock over a
just
lot of things
bad.
last time.
Just the time on our phones.
It's still 6:30.
Wasn't it just 7:30?
No, it's definitely 5:30.
It's
something
6:30.
30. Okay.
Well, time's strange. I mean,
Time is a
before it was
construct.
flickering between 7 and 3 in that one building we were in. As soon as we left, it seemed things resumed in a weird way it's happening. So maybe some places have wards on this weird time circulation.
Looking at the phone, is it still flickering between this time and 7:30?
You look at your phone. It looks like it's working again. You look at your phone.
And
It looks like it's working again. You look at your phone. It looks like it's working again. You look at your phone. Your phone's off.
I literally am just picturing that Old Spice commercial that's like, look at me, and now you're looking at a dolphin, and then you're looking over here, and now you're looking at me. I'm riding a horse.
Do we have this weird thing where Zyphos is just looking at his phone for like 2 minutes or something?
It all feels like time just... It's like a skip on a record. It just... It's like that time when you're on YouTube and things buffer wrong. Where all of a sudden, like, your ad block kicks in, and yet you're back at the beginning of the video. It's that.
Let's hope.
while I'm looking at the phone, could I attempt to investigate a mystery?
Oh, please
Figure
do.
out, like, I will. I'm not great on sharp, but I mean,
But we believe.
Can I roll to help him out first? Oh, never mind.
barely.
Here we go.
No.
Barely.
Oh,
Barely.
oh no.
Let's see here. So we've got...
Mixed.
All right. So mixed success and help on an investigative mystery, which was itself a mixed success. This is delightful. So on a help out, on a 7 to 9, you grant them a +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble and or danger. On investigative mystery, so that 7 becomes an 8, still a mixed success. 7 to 9, you get to hold 1. I feel like now is a good time to remind you all, you have this resource called luck. It's limited in nature, but it can make something automatically 12.
I'll use a luck. Not.
You'll use a luck? Okay, to make that a 12, so you'll have a 13.
Yeah, it's a luck.
Do you want to use a luck there, Nick, to make it so that you're not in trouble? Or do you want to use a reroll, or you just want to let it ride?
You know, every day it's a lot. I'll burn a luck, sure.
Okay.
You're giving him what he
Excellent.
wants.
Every
Yeah.
point of luck brings them closer to death. So, 2 luck gone for one luck gone for another. Alright, so we're maxing out on Investigative Mystery. You get to hold 2, and because I got 2 luck, I'll be kind. I will give you an advanced option on this, so it'll be a 12 plus. So, on that hold 2, you can get stuff from the list, but also you can ask me any question you want, not limited to that list.
Well, the main reason I investigated was I was wondering, with the time thing, it kept saying 7:30. Is that our deadline?
7:30 is a deadline, not the deadline.
Oh shit!
Okay.
You've got another question. You can use it now, or you can hold onto it for later.
I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay, so where are we going now?
You're outside the restaurant.
We can as well try to spy the guy. And
Yeah, I have a phone number. Found it on the floor when I tripped.
if you call him, maybe we can see who picks up.
Maybe I
and that will
shouldn't
just...
talk to him. One of you take this number. It's worth not going on my phone.
Good idea! Good idea! There's a parrot.
I thought that was someone's phone. I was like, interesting ringtone. Yes.
There's a parrot perched at the pier that is just staring at the lot of you. Good idea!
You sure?
No, I'm not messing with that. I'll take the phone number. I don't know if it'll work on my phone, but I'll try.
Flies over to y'all and perches on Eris's bike.
That's fair.
You shit on
That
it.
seems like a perfect thing for your personality.
See, he agrees!
That's
See, he agrees!
Look, you made a friend.
See? Like birds of
I
a
don't need
feather.
any more friends.
Listen to him more!
Go on, shoot.
Listen to him more! Not going anywhere!
Listen
Not
to
going
who?
anywhere!
I think it's copying
Listen to
us.
who?
Or copying somebody. Wait, did the bird just answer your question?
I mean, is that the weirdest thing that happened today?
I mean, you burnt down a restaurant, so I don't know.
It does that parrot thing of just opening its mouth, sticking out its tongue like it's kind of laughing, but making no noise. Thank you, Celeste, for the pet donation. I am delighted.
Yo, I
Oh, I
cannot
get
stress
now.
how much every day it's a lot.
So much.
Right. So, how about we kinda make ourselves less obvious? Set ourselves so we can see clearly entrance to the restaurant.
I'm not taking off
And
the suit
someone
if that's what
calls
you're
the
asking.
guy. Someone calls the guy? But speak very quietly so he doesn't leave the restaurant.
Let's go, maybe just like go in my car and we call him.
Yeah, sure. Bart.
Sure.
So you pile
I'll-
into the car.
Why does it smell weird in here?
It smells
Is this your
fine.
cologne?
It's
I
probably
don't know
your
if it's
stink.
one of those funky tree things.
Ugh.
It smells like flowers
No.
in here, and I'm sure you would know what the outside world's like.
It smells of divinity and overconfidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah,
That's how
I
I
don't
like
like
it.
this.
Newest fragrance from the breeze.
No.
It probably smells fine.
This
but
is too
Eris
expensive for Febreze.
Okay.
So who's calling? Which phone is being used?
Who is? I mean,
I've
Mikhail
heard
would
kind
go
of
to
like
call, but
yeah.
unless somebody stopped Mikhail from calling, he would call. So I could
Does
start
anyone
typing in
stop
the
Mikhail?
phone.
Eris is gonna pluck the phone.
Hey.
Okay.
Whatever. You can finish off the number. I don't mind.
Should one of us be in
I mean,
the
no
restaurant?
offense, but see what happened. Not today, but last today,
What do you
when
mean?
you tried to talk to somebody. I wanted to say yesterday, but it wasn't really yesterday. It's just today
I'm
again.
perfectly good at talking to people who understand me. And certainly
I look
wants
at
to
everyone
like you.
else.
I mean, nothing.
Wow.
Maybe.
All right, I'm calling. Finish the number and.
Social faux pas!
Shouldn't one of us go into the restaurant just in case he answers? We might be able to pick him out. If he's in there.
Could be smart.
I will. Or me or you. You've seen his face. I've seen his butt.
I've
Between the
seen
two
his
of
face
us.
out.
I forgot about that.
So you're just gonna go into the restaurant and start staring at people's butts? Is that what your plan is?
I
It's
mean,
like, I know that
Oh
one.
my god, no.
I only
Alright.
jest.
So
I put more than the butt. I just wanted to keep it PG for your delicate sensibilities.
on the note of delicate sensitivities, Zyphos, are you going into Avalon?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You are immediately greeted by a hostess. Hit for one?
Yes.
This way. Sits you down. Small table overlooking the dockside. As we cut back to inside the car, and you finish that dialing.
Neve is just sitting at the back window, looking at her. Like,
You look in, and at the bar, a phone goes off. Well-dressed fellow, who's definitely chatty with the bartender, just looks at the phone, doesn't recognize the number, and swipes to have it go to voicemail. And you get the voicemail.
I hang up
Hello.
before it beeps.
Okay.
I'll listen to what it says and then just like hang up because I don't want to actually leave a message.
Hello. This is Morgan Reeves. If you are interested in law services, please call insert number here. If this is a private matter, please leave a message. Have a pleasant day. Beep. Okay.
I ask for my phone back.
What?
Oh, yeah, Eris will give you your phone back.
Thank you.
It's the man by the bar. The naked man from the bar.
Does his butt look familiar?
I mean, does his silhouette look familiar? It was sort of middle-aged, quite tall and...
He seems less muscular, significantly so. Like, if you freeze dried the guy whose silhouette you saw, it might be him.
I run back to the car before someone tells me to fuck off.
Xiphos.
What did you?
One, this place is incredibly expensive. Two, are you going to try and get a look at his face?
Yes.
Excellent. I would like you to act under pressure.
Okay.
So roll cool. 7. That is a mixed success. So before we get into the delightful awfulness that is a partial success under act under pressure, would you like to spend a reroll or one of your luck?
That's a good point. I will spend a reroll, actually.
Okay. $11. Success.
Take that.
All right. Oh, those are going away, and we haven't even gotten to the church.
It's Celeste.
That was
Thank
Celeste. All right. And so, on an act under pressure, under a 10 plus, you do what you set out to do. So in this moment, we'll say you're getting up, making for like you're going to the bathroom. You pass by the bar. You don't see a lot of his face, but you see his eyes. And in that moment, you know it's him. Do you continue on the bathroom? Do you head out of the restaurant? What do you do?
I will go into the restroom briefly. Just make it look like I'm grabbing paper towels or something. And then just kind of like peek out and attempt to trail him when he leaves.
Would like you to act under pressure because this is awfully suspicious. Also, you would be dwelling in that bathroom for a while.
Yeah.
And
maybe go up to the bar at some point and just order a drink. You can strike up a conversation. You see me.
First, let's do this act under pressure roll. Mixed success.
My rolls are either 7 or really high.
So
you always use luck.
Would you like to spend a luck, or do you want the consequences to come?
Let's spend a luck.
Okay.
Surely.
Okay.
To protect you, stop killing yourself.
That's 2 luck gone, folks. We've got 2 with only 5 luck left. I am so happy.
Fine.
So, it's not long before Morgan gets up, finishes his drink, finishes flirting with the bartender, and heads to a white truck outside. Gets in, and just at that moment, as he's getting into the truck, you see Xiphos come out of the restaurant.
I am start up the car,
Okay, you can start up the car.
and I'm going to just like push open the door for Cyphers to get in.
Yeah, I'll get in.
So who are we
Inconspicuously.
following?
And suddenly the Bentley becomes a clown car as we're all just pushed.
Well,
Well, if anybody
are you
wants
all
to
in
move
the
to-
all in the Bentley? Are you leaving your
Everyone's
bikes
in
here?
the Bentley at the moment.
We have
Should
folks.
not leave the bike.
I'll go on my bike at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Eris would leave his bike.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
even bikes. They're babies.
But also they're
So-
loud.
Yeah,
I
that's one problem.
In this moment, a number of things. I need you guys. I'll give you a quick few seconds to figure out what you're doing in this moment.
As soon as
Eris
people
is not going to
decide
go to
where
his
they're
bike
going
because it's too loud.
Okay. Nick,
to,
what are you
if
doing?
once
Take the bike?
everybody's
First with Nick.
Okay. I'm gonna trust everyone. I'm gonna leave my bike and I'm gonna hop in that Bentley.
Okay. So, to paint the picture, we've got a very cramped backseat of a Bentley. Zyphos is sitting shotgun. Nicole's sitting up front, ready to drive. As everyone's plying in, a parrot flops in and is now sitting on a center console. And we have this delightful picture as in this particular moment, you are going to try and tail him. Mikkel, I want you to make an act under pressure roll.
okay, and that is cool, correct?
Yes, that is cool.
I've got a +2 in cool, so
That is
it's one of
cool.
the only things I'm
Is there
good
any
at.
way I can help?
I was about to say,
Oh, you can help someone out. By all means, please do.
I want
Before I
help.
roll,
Shut
or
up.
is it after I roll?
Oh, it should happen before.
Okay, I'll not do anything then.
Since I'm
Wait,
sitting
hold on.
shotgun, I'll help, and I've got a decent cool.
Oh, here's the thing. Usually only one person can help, but I'll let you both roll to help someone out for a luck.
We only have 5 left
Is-
total, right, for all of us?
Wait.
No,
oh,
no,
is
no.
it shared?
Each of you have your own individual pools of luck.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just Zyphos is draining his pool quickly.
hmm
Don't worry about it.
I'd say
So-
only one of you need to help me.
No, stop it! Stop eating up all your luck.
Only one
What do you-
person has to help me. I'm just gonna say that.
So
Okay.
to
Yeah.
to roll
How
help
do I
someone
roll?
out, it's roll cool. It's a roll. So
Oh,
you
God.
roll cool. We'll see the results, and then Mikkel rolls cool with possibly a modifier based on the results.
So
Excellent.
Zyphos got
Help
8.
out. So
God,
this is a time when I need to inform you so you can make an informed choice, because that was a partial hit. You can grant them plus 1 to the roll, but it will also expose yourself to trouble or danger, or you can spend a luck.
God, I don't want any danger right now. But I also advise against using luck.
Well, it's
Don't do
Zyphos' choice. So,
Well, no. The person who rolled was Eris, so it's Eris's choice.
I didn't
What are you doing?
roll.
No,
Oh, you didn't roll?
Zyphos
It was
rolled.
Zyphos? Okay,
Yes.
Zyphos.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
I was going to roll and then he beat me to it!
No, you.
Okay.
You, protect.
Zyphos is making all the bad choices. Eris is the good brother today.
What's happened?
Okay. So
the other
are
way
you
around.
spending the luck, or are you letting it roll?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. No rats.
You're letting it roll? Okay.
Nah,
Okay, so
I'm
do I get
spending
+1
luck.
forwards from that?
I'm
You
gonna
get
spend the
plus
luck.
1 on this roll, on this
Okay.
act under pressure roll.
I am spending the
11.
luck, so +1.
nice.
Cool.
From that +1
Cool.
forwards, I got 11.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
no,
Excellent.
One of the only
so
things I can do is act under pressure.
you will tail him. However, So, you tail him all the way to St. Martin's, the abandoned church. He pulls around back. You can either choose to pull around back, or you can park out front. I'll let you choose. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna park out front.
Park out front. Okay.
It would be too suspicious to follow him around back.
Neve is just going to be like, damn, I was really hoping that this deadline was for him kidnapping someone, not him going to the ritual site already.
The clock on the
don't
dash
understand
of the
what you mean.
Bentley says 7:20.
I think
10
we have to
minutes.
hurry.
Okay,
Everybody out, kids.
let's do something.
I guess we're doing this.
Do we just go and beat him up?
Do we need weapons? Because I can always draw mine.
She pulls out from her huge pockets in the leather jacket, she pulls out this revolver that looks ridiculously oversized in her tiny hands.
You see Mikhail reach into this kind of like blackened space, like, and just like out of it pulls like a giant thunder bronze hammer.
It's,
I keep away from the brothers.
Good
Yeah.
call. Good
Thanks.
call.
I forgot that I gave Eris a sword of all things. I guess I
that's
have a
awesome.
sword now.
Zyphos will just roll up his or just take off his sweater
Yeah.
to reveal like arms covered with armored scales. All right.
I love
Okay.
Chef's kiss.
okay.
And
Yeah.
Nick, what you got?
I gave him a
So-
shotgun, right?
Nick is going to keep the Magnum in his jacket pocket, just in case. But his 9mm.
Okay. So, armed for bear, piling out of this Bentley, accompanied by a parrot, this merry band of misfits heads to the church. And in that particular moment, I'm guessing you're all going to want to roll stealth, which in this case we act under pressure.
Yes. Wow, that was close.
Sorry, I realised I was muted. Cole might want to use a lock there.
I would love to use
Oh.
a lock,
Yeah, okay.
if that's okay with everybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
That means I would have to use luck too, though.
I'm going
Is
no,
luck
to
it's
just
not
like
your-
another straight roll?
no,
Oh no,
luck
it makes it a
just gives
12.
you a 12.
automatically makes it a 12.
Okay,
So
great, I'm gonna do that.
what?
I'm also going to give myself a luck because use my luck because I got a 9 instead of 10.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like everyone who did not get a full success is burning luck. Okay. Delightful.
I really
Delightful.
don't like the way you use that word.
It's so good.
All right. So you guys roll up to the front of this abandoned church. It is boarded up, and there is a heavy chain and padlock across the front. Are you going to try and bust in? Are you going to try and look for another way in? What are you all doing?
Is the
There.
so can I just grab the padlock and just put it into my pocket dimension?
Choice.
I will allow
Is
you
it-
to attempt to do that for a luck. Attempt.
I'll do it.
3
Okay.
for luck.
How do I do that? Because it's not like I roll with
That would be a
when I
weird
when I
roll.
need it. Alright, +0 to weird, so here's really hoping. Okay. 8.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not the best at
So
magic,
you reach out, and with your powers, you are able to snatch this lock. But there is a consequence that comes with this. I'm going to give you a choice. Either everything and everyone side hears the clattering of the chain at the front of the door, or what is waiting outside to ambush you hears you, and just that.
I'll pick the second option.
Okay. And so in that moment, you reach out, you grab with such care that lock, and you focus all of your effort into tearing it from reality and putting it in this pocket dimension as quietly as possible. The chains just slide against the plywood, slack and quiet. But the expression of that divine energy catches the attention of something that's been trailing you guys since Avalon. Shadows from beneath the Bentley gather together, slithering out in inky black. And as it pulls across the lawn, joined with shadow, is every bit of grass, fiber, reed, and root. Bits of earth clumping together, filling the shadow out, giving it form, and turning it into this vicious-looking wolf, with eyes as black as pitch, teeth snarling at you, small stones from the earth mixed with sharpened stick and reed. And yet, with all of this, it drools. As the drool hits the ground, there's little hisses, but it does not howl. No. This thing has eyes only for murder. And thus we begin. And so, one of the things that I'd like to do specifically with Powered by the Apocalypse and with this particular game is I want you as a group to choose which one of you goes first. And then you'll be handing it off back and forth to one another until we move through. Just keep in mind, when it comes to the monster, there's no initiative. It just acts to you. So it gets to go a lot. Running away is always an option.
Between you guys, I would like to go first.
Seems fitting.
So,
By all means.
So, Mikkel, what are you doing here?
as soon
Are you
as I
going to
see it,
attempt-
I immediately just like you see like ripples of lightning run up the up the hammer, and I just kind of like push it to the ground, and like giant like waves of electricity just start like more rippling, and I run towards it and I just like smack it with lightning.
All right, let's move to kick some ass. So this is rolling with tough.
I'm also good at that. Tough.
I hope you are.
Hey, there you go.
Excellent. So,
I can't talk to people, but I'm really good at beating people up.
you get to inflict harm. The harm level of your weapon, and you
3.
get to choose an extra effect. You gain advantage, so you can take +1 forward for yourself or give it to another hunter. You inflict terrible harm. You do +1 harm to the target. You suffer less harm because now you are right there next to the creature and is going to bite you. Or you force the creature where you want them.
I will give +1 harm to Zyphos.
+1 forward?
+1 forward, sorry. Yeah, wrong one.
Okay. Nope. And this is a relatively new system. This is your guys' first combat. So, again, terminology we'll learn. But, yes. So, you come in and you crack this thing good. Lightning courses into what would be its veins, but its musculature is entirely magical. It does not howl, it does not whimper. Instead, it lashes out, and teeth, face expand unnaturally, for this has no bone, and then snaps shut around your midsection, ripping and tearing at flesh. It is like being in a landslide that grinds against your form. Take 2 harm.
Ouchie.
And now, who would you like to give the initiative to?
Just
I'm going to
a
give it
quick
to
thing,
Zyphos.
Yeah, so
Okay.
out of curiosity,
Zyphos.
how does protect someone work? That
Protect
in
someone.
reaction to something happening?
You can do it ahead of time. You can react. However, if you're going to react, please put your hands up real quick to let me know that there's something happening in another person's action.
Gotcha. 'Cause
But
in that case, I'm not
this
trying
is
to
one
protect
full
him.
learning time. Okay, I'll let you roll to protect someone right now. Roll tough.
Right. I'm going to use the +1 forward on this.
By all means, please do.
There we go.
Okay,
+1
that's
forward
10.
matter.
Yo, every little bit counts. So, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they are going to get. However, on a 10 plus, you choose extra. You suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back. What would you like?
We'll take 1 less harm.
Okay, so Mikkel, you've actually suffered nothing. And as for Zyphos, you barrel in as time flickers, as it gave you just a second. You hear the bird in the back squawk as things rewind, giving you an opening, for you saw the horrors that were about to be inflicted upon your ally. And you barrel in, just as this hideous maw snaps shut, dragging your arm up, those hardened scales protecting you as it drags across you. I'm guessing those armor scales also give you armor. Am I correct?
No, the way I flavored that was I took immortal. So I take
Oh.
1 less harm whenever I take harm.
So, because you already chose to take less harm, you take nothing, as it will be reduced to 1 harm. The earth drags across your hardened scales, but it does not pry them loose. It does not harm you. Instead, we see little sparks coming off as the rock, stone, and wood drag across your arms. And this thing just looks pissed. Who would you like to give initiative to?
Let's hand it off to my brother.
Eris,
Eris.
it's your go.
Okay, so while all this is going on, I kind of like sprint around the side and come up behind it. So
Okay.
I have natural attacks. I am not quite sure how this works. So I have claws, and I also took life drain. do I have to attack with claws to use the life drain?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Okay. So you will roll to kick some ass, which is rolling with tough.
And I get to roll plus weird instead of tough when I kick some ass. Because I have
Awesome.
unholy strength. So
By all means, unleash it. Seven.
Could I use a luck instead?
By all means, please do.
Okay.
So that's 12. So you inflict the harm of your damage, and you get to choose. So are you going to get a forward, give a forward, inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm, or force them where you want them?
Inflict terrible harm.
Okay, so what does that take the harm of your life-draining claws to? Is +1 harm.
Okay, so the claws to life drain is 1. So then 4.
Okay. So, 4 damage. Delightful. You need it. So, you claw into this thing. Its hide is not like hide. Your claws have torn through dozens, if not hundreds, of individuals. And this is like your claws being plunged into earth and stone, dirt and grass as you drag along. It's like tearing up dirt. And, well, you hurt it a little. As you drag your claws in, roots start poking through your hand, tearing and ripping at flesh. As you pull your hand back, it is a bloody mess. Take 2 harm. Who would you like to give the initiative to?
I'm gonna pass it off to Neve.
Eve, your go.
Right. Saying all this, he looks at her gun, looks at the creature, drops it in a pocket, drops entire jacket, and for the first time, you can see that neck down, her entire body. Like, you can't see her now, but she's wearing just a little top, and you can see that on her belly, on her arms, everywhere there are glowing tattoos. And she just makes this gesture like throwing something, and the tattoos seem to fly off in this silhouette just made out of glowing lines and fly at the creature. We'll see what results.
Okay.
I'm using Big Whammy.
By all means, throw that big whammy down. Okay, mixed success. So you managed to inflict damage. Is that all you want, or would you like to burn a lock?
Actually, she already started burning luck, and she's pissed.
Okay.
You see, like, she might be a bit mean, but generally through the entire day she's really cheerful. But right now there's something a little bit vicious coming through, and I'm burning a little luck. And
Okay.
going.
More damage. Excellent. And with that damage, I want to thank all you 8 raiders coming in from Poke Your Eyes Out games. We haven't poked any eyes out yet, but we have rent flesh nearly from bone and are in the middle of a pitched battle to save time, lives, and more. Welcome. So you lash out with the big whammy. We see the light, the tattoos, the forms impact, blowing chunks off this thing. But it's like it almost wants to be blown apart as those bits fly back with vicious speed, tearing into your body. It is like you've just been sandblasted. As I want you to take 2 harm. The good news is this thing looks ragged. We only have 1 member of our group left. Nick, what are you doing?
Right. Using this gun is gonna... If I use this gun, it's got loud, and that might expose our position, but I feel like we're kind of a bit exposed already. I'd be amazed if they can't hear us fight this thing. So, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna run in and kick some ass.
Alright.
Using this,
This is the 9, or is it the 45?
This is gonna be the 9 right now.
Alright, awesome. Kick some ass.
Alright, well, I have to burn luck.
Okay, what you want off that menu?
We have to.
I just have to. I simply must. Let's see. I'm going to... Hopefully this will finish off. I'll inflict terrible harm and make it take more damage from this.
How much damage does a 9 usually do?
2 harm, so that's going to be 3 harm now.
Okay. So you line up the shot. And you pull the trigger. Sound of a gunshot. Very distinctive sound. Roars and echoes throughout this little section of town. The bullet enters right between the eyes. And those eyes go from terrible, terrible black to a bright flash of white. And I want all of you to take 1 harm as this thing explodes.
Youch.
Could I... Oh, never mind. I was about to say, can I protect Zyphos, but never mind, I won't.
I'm good. I got immortal.
This thing is exploding. So everyone nearby takes.
Could
1
I
harm.
try to protect Neve at least? I know my brother's fine. He
Sure.
somehow doesn't get hurt, and I'm the one that's taking the beatings usually, so...
I will allow you to try and protect Neve. Please roll help. Protect someone.
Is there a way to, like...
Protect someone is
that
tough.
a little bit? Tough, okay.
Protect someone is tough.
Could I argue weird with my unholy strength?
I'll let you argue it for luck.
Just don't.
No, actually...
Just protect somebody. Just...
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna
if
roll
you
tough,
guys
and
take
then
1
I'll
harm,
roll luck
otherwise
if I have to.
They burn your luck so much.
Okay. Roll tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the only one standing at the end of this because everybody else is killed.
Okay,
themselves.
so that is a partial. Would you like to burn luck, or would you like to let the consequences roll?
Just consequences.
I can always heal you.
Bring on the consequences.
Okay,
I'm about to eat my
consequences!
words.
Yeah!
And then
Alright,
Eris
so-
dies.
You will take
I
an
have 3
additional
harm.
harm on top of the 1, because Neve will take 1 harm, as Eris, with unnatural quickness, tackles you to the ground and uses their body as a shield. As the searing hot light, ash, and debris just smacks into them. And as you are lying there prone, all of you gathering, like, your sight back in this winding bit, the parrot runs off into the now open church. And out emerges Nick Morgan Reeves. But maybe this time it's the real Morgan. His face belies his age, a man in his early 60s. But the body that goes with that face is not in any way that of a 60-year-old man. Instead, standing before you is a 6'3" frame of an Olympic powerlifting athlete.
Uncle Iroh.
It's
Uncle Iroh after prison.
absolutely ripped, and ready to tear you asunder. Those pale blue eyes glinting in the night sky's light with malice and knowledge terrible and arcane. And in that moment, things get weird. As now, everything stops for a second, and you're not where you were. You're now in the church, spread out from one another. He looks bloodied, but nowhere near dead. Your 9mm, Nick, lies at the floor of your feet. There's no bullets left. Mikkel, you find yourself in a shattered scattering of pews, just holding on to your hammer. Neve, you find yourself around a summoning circle with the bodies of 7 still breathing individuals. Eris, you are lying on one knee at the feet of this unnatural hulk of a man. And Xiphos, cradling your face in one hand is Aelin, this terrible, terrible darkened fae, who just stares at you and says, "Oh, my dear lad, I can make things so much easier for you. All you have to do is ask. Who goes next?"
Do I see Aelin cradling Xiphos' face?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go try and tackle them. I'm gonna try and go tackle them. Yeah. Get away
Both
from
of them?
Xiphos. Try and get
want
Xiphos.
Right
I want to
now.
get Aelin away from Xiphos.
Okay, I will give you
Like
a choice.
charmed.
Not quite. You still have some free will left, though it's really hard in those eyes. No, Miko, does everyone want me to go in this moment? Real quick. Yes. All right.
Sure.
So, I will give you a choice, Miko. You can either roll to kick some ass. You can roll to protect someone. In which case, you will face the consequences that were ready for Xiphos. Or you can roll to act under pressure. However, in doing that, it is very much diminished of what it is that you desire.
I will
You
roll
will
to protect
get
someone.
away. Okay. Roll to protect
I'm
someone.
gonna be like, as I'm running towards him, like, get away from him!
Is there any way I can help?
You can roll to try and help out, but that has to happen now.
Is that plus cool?
To roll help someone out is cool. Because helping out is cool, little Fonzies.
Can I choose to just use a luck, or do I have to roll first?
You have to roll first.
Okay. Because I already know it's not. Yeah.
Hmm.
You know.
Okay, so you're going to burn a luck?
Yep.
How much is left?
Okay. Cool. So, in burning the luck
I
to
don't know.
help someone
Like,
out.
I feel like I want Mikhail to get to my brother.
Well,
And if anything's in his way, like, I'm throwing something or I'll do whatever.
okay. I'll let you help. There's going to be. We'll see how Mickle goes, and then we'll narrate. So, Mickle, you
Fine.
get a +1 with no consequences.
Yep, I had the +1. Yeah.
Okay. So
Fine.
that
I
was
will take
protect
the,
someone. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. In that moment, Eris, even though you're at Reeves's feet, you see Mickle rushing off with divinely guided speed towards Aelin and your brother. There's a candle, a heavy one, sitting there right by you. You grab and huck this thing with every ounce of unholy strength you've got. It beans Aelin right across the forehead. Just perfectly right before Mickle goes in and just tackles Aelin. And they go tumbling, head over feet, leaving Xiphos just kind of dumbfounded, standing there. And as you go head over feet, Mickle, Aelin is on top, in full MMA like mount, with one unnatural hand grabbing your throat and another raised to the punch. As a smile, those quicksilver teeth gleaming in the moonlight, as this vicious punch just comes down right between your eyes. Take 2 harm.
I think I'm on 4. Oh no, I'm 4 out of 7. I think right now. I'm 1 from being unstable.
Yeah, a knife's edge. Congratulations. So, who would you like to give the initiative to?
Neve.
Neve, it's your goal. You're right by there, by that circle.
Yeah, I really want to disarm this shit.
Okay. For a luck, I will let you investigate history before you try and use magic.
Before we do this, can I use my last question that I've had of how do we stop this ritual?
You have the hold. Spend the hold.
Yep, spend the whole.
So how do you stop the ritual? Is that all you want to include in that sentence?
How do we stop this ritual without fucking with time? Add that
Or they're
specification.
taking people. Or they're innocent taking people.
Yeah, with
Or
all
us.
saving the most lives possible.
Save the most lives possible and not fuck with time. Is that your final answer?
Final answer, yes.
Oh my god.
So this is going to be an unweaving. There's quick and dirty, which will stop the ritual, but it has consequences. So you're going to have to actually channel that dark and terrible power into this ritual, and you're going to have to survive the feedback. If you should perish, the day resets. This is all or nothing. So,
I'm freaking out.
We've never seen
roll
a
weird.
magic power that she didn't want to channel, so we go.
You summoned it to Divine. You should be able to do this. by accident, but you know,
accidentally summoned the divine.
Yes.
Let's go with this.
We love to see it.
Yes. Okay. So what do I roll?
You roll plus weird.
That makes sense. But you know what? I'm quite lucky.
Are you
I'm
okay,
betting
you
luck.
gotta
I'm
burn luck.
definitely betting luck.
Okay?
I don't
We'll
want
get to-
this to explode.
We'll get to you in a moment. Who goes?
I'm pointing wrong direction. Nick.
Nick, it's your go. The
Okay.
9
Oh,
lies
boy.
at your feet without any
Get him,
ammo.
Ghost, get
What
him,
you
get
doing?
Alright. Oh
Aelin
god, there's so many
is pummeling right now Mikkel with unnatural strength and speed. Eris is lying on one knee in front of Morgan Reeves, who looks absolutely
Probably dying.
juiced.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna roll to kick some ass on Aelin.
Okay.
And I'm specifically going to take out the oh god. I'm gonna take out the 40 millimeter, the 44 Magnum. I'm so nervous. Oh my god.
Fine,
I'm
fine.
gonna take out the 44 Magnum, and I'm gonna clutch. In the other hand, I'm going to clutch the cold iron horseshoe. I'm just pray to someone.
Would you like to pray to patron? I will
Not
let you
necessary
make a
today.
weird roll. I will make you a weird roll to make this even better. If you pray to your patron.
Yeah, I gotta.
Okay. Roll weird.
I would like to use the blue dice to re-roll.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's smart.
Go for it.
Jeez. Oh!
Would you like to use a luck?
Use a luck, please.
Okay.
God.
So that
Thank
That's
three
you.
followed by a 4 becomes a 12, folks. Before that, an 11 to kick some ass. So you pray to your patron, holding this cold iron horseshoe, firing the 44 Magnum with the silver rounds at Aelin. You just hear in your ear, "All right, Nick. That's one more month gone. You're welcome." As unnatural aim, guided by a dark and terrible force, your shot rings true. And Aelin, all at once, has this terrible giant hole in their chest. That wicked smile replaced with eyes agape in horror, a mouth hanging loose as they collapse and discorporate into 1,000 purple butterflies. And because there cannot be a sweet moment, the parrot goes and starts trying to eat all of the butterflies.
Eris, feed your pets.
Man over here, so
And so, who are you giving the initiative to, Ghost Rider?
I'm going to. I'm gonna. Without call out, I have to give the initiative to Eris.
Eris, it's your go. You are right there at the feet of Morgan Reeves. What do you do?
I'm gonna attack. I want to take this fucker down. I also forgot I have Claws of Beast, so that's a +1 harm to all my totals.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go in for a swipe. Roll
Kick some ass!
That's a 10!
Beautiful. What
That
would you
is-
like to do off that menu?
Terrible harm, for sure.
Okay.
Because this guy wrecked me. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 harm.
In that moment, as you tear across his chest, you begin to remember the moments that were taken from you in the timescape. He took every single 9mm shot from Nick and shrugged it off. It was only you and Mickle that were able to do anything to this guy. As you drag your horrific claws with your unholy strength across his flesh, he punches down. Take 3 harm, but as he punches down, he collapses to one knee. He is alive, but barely. Xiphos, you're all that's left.
I'm down. Eris collapses.
What do you do?
I'm one away from
Xiphos?
unstable.
Seeing that, he's pissed. He runs over. It's gonna grab the buff man on one knee by his neck and just stare into his eyes and say, "Stay away from him." And his eyes just start to glow brighter and brighter as he just stares into his eyes and invokes his bloodline of the Medusa and is going to life drain him. Oh, turning him to stone.
Do it!
Alright. It's a tough one.
That is so fucking cool. Oh my god.
Spending a luck.
Oh shit.
Spending a luck on this.
Okay. And in that moment, the son of Medusa takes their vengeance. As you cradle you grab him by the neck, much in the same way Ainlin grabbed Mickle's neck. His chin forced up to meet your gaze, eyes bloodshot. And a scream starts to try and escape his lips as from the tip of his tongue, his body is rendered to stone. And as that scream is stifled, we go to the ring. As Eve calls upon the very darkness within her and takes that unholy blow, a unnatural spell done in arcane style, both traditional and new, that was meant to drain not just the life, but the time left for the individuals, and channel it to renew Morgan Reeves. And so you weather the storm of time. There is a number of skips as you, Neve, experience a lot of time. You've had quite the experience. And you collapse on the floor. You are alive. Everyone, except those who would try to do evil in this once hallowed place, are alive. However, one of you is perilously close to death, and another does not necessarily know what time it is or who they are. And that, my friends, credits is where we have our little last montage. And so we pull away from the church, this hanging view, going over and panning across Longfellow, the Waffle House, the motel, offices, the police station, downtown. And we see the parrot again. Parrot lands in a very familiar back alley to our friends here. Back behind the cop restaurant, that cop bar. And we see Alexander, the immortal, just go. So, you have fun, Polly? What? Guide them right, boss. Guide them right. That's tosses the bird a cashew. It munches away on it. And that's where we have the end credits. Monster of the Week. The Long Holiday. Thank you, wonderful people. And thank you, cast, for one hell of a ride. And so, we're going to go around, and I want each of you to tell me, should we meet these folks again, what would you like to do with them? So first, Mecca, Mikkel, our divine, how you doing? And what is the next step? Where can we find you?
Right. My favorite moment, and if I mean, I really enjoyed the end fight there. It's where Mikhail stands out, I suppose. If he would have done one more thing just at the end, he would have gone towards Aris, realizing that they're not actually so bad, and would have tried to heal them.
We'll get to the end credits stinger here in a bit.
And
but where can we find you?
You can find me at MechLightSpider on Twitter, where I occasionally make some tweets on other people's channels most of the time. And you can find me at MechaSpider on Twitch. And that's about it. To be honest, I don't really do too much streaming nowadays as I'm living the life of a uni student. So, yeah. And I'm feeling this is a really, really fun session. I really enjoyed it.
All right. And if you could do one more thing in the future, say this is a supernatural style series, what is one highlight next time on Monster of the Week that features Mikkel?
Fighting demons.
Fighting demons. Excellent. Well, we have our own personal demon here. Hey, Anka, how you doing? How's Neve? How do you feel? How do you enjoy that session? And where can we find you? And what would be the next step for Neve?
Well, I absolutely goddamn loved it. I think Monster of the Week might be my current new favorite system, because it's just, yeah, and this session was great, and just being able to just lean into it and go into disaster, wonderful. I love it. You can find me mostly on Twitter at Anka_DM. I post a lot of, I post reasonable amounts of art. You can see me even there, and Neve making Google eyes at Aris, because, yes. Yeah, that's a, yeah, that's and what I would like to, so seeing how roughly this ending seemed to be working out like, I would love to see me having proper corruption arc. Like at some point you see her with horns made out of light. can be resolved in a happy ending, hopefully. But if she becomes Queen of Hell, that works too. I mean, she is very
Queen
much.
of Queen of Hell looks really good on a LinkedIn profile. That is solid. Speaking about profiles, titles, and standing, especially with some history behind it. Colin, how you doing? How's Zyphos? Where can we find you, and what's in store for the future of our good serpent lad?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Colin Kelly. That's my Twitter. That's where I do most announcements. My most recent thing to plug would be the Zweihander Adventure that I published 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2. Bush Undertones. I actually ran it for EncounterCon when we did that. Granted, a shortened version because I only had so much time, but that's published. I think it's already at 30 plus sales. It's fantastic. I plugged it multiple times. It's in my Twitter bio. You can find it there. I'm also a part of Wayward Expeditions, the Rise of the Runelords podcast. Season 1 has just finished up recently. That is all published now. There's going to be about a month or so break in between now and season 2, as we're about to finish recording that, and we want to build up a bit of a backlog just in case the editors fall behind. And yeah. So in terms of favorite moment was, I definitely like how everyone got their like little spotlight at the end in that final fight. Everyone did something. Everyone did something impactful. And where you could find him after this, a fun little arc would definitely be this kind of joint because it's Zyphos and Eris confronting their Medusa's parent. That would be very fun. That would be a cool thing.
Ooh. Oh yeah. No, I am about it. But now we have to see about the other half of those twins with Eris. Cole, how are you doing? Where can we find you? And what would be a future bit for Eris?
Hey, howdy, hello. I'm Cole. You can find me at Cole Muriel on Twitter. I post a lot of art, and I actually do have something to plug. Over on Friends Who Roll Dice, we are getting ready for our October fundraiser. Casting calls just went out, so we're looking for players, we're looking for GMs. So make sure to check out the Twitter and my Twitter. That's all I'm going to be talking about until the end of October. So yeah, come play some games with us. We're going to be raising money for RAIN, which is an organization dedicated to helping survivors of domestic violence, which, especially during COVID, situations are not very great. People are stuck at home with their abusers. So we wanted to pick a charity that would be able to help people in need. As well as with the wildfires, we're also going to be donating to Earth Day organization, which is dedicated to climate change action. So those are the 2 charities that we're going to be donating to. And let's roll with our heart and help some people out and play games together. So yeah, come hang out with us, and you can catch me on Mondays on the same channel, playing my moon tiefling, Eridin Azenti, on The Mind and the Murder. And as for the arc with Eris, I also very much enjoy that you're asking about this. Eyes emoji, eyes. Would also be confronting a definitely like Dusa arc. I think would be super cool. And kind of because like the twins are so different, so kind of like seeing like what that situation, like how they would develop during that, I guess, because they've handled things like very differently. So I think that would be really interesting. And I was just thinking, like, what everyone's going to do next, and I'm just like, Eris is trying to not die. That's it in this current moment.
That
life.
is legit. But if you could,
That's
propose another highlight specifically for Eris, what would you have as a
specifically
highlight?
for
Like
Eris.
next time on Monster of the Week.
Next time on Monster of the Week, I think Something along the lines of what is it to be human? I think
Okay.
Eris feels rather monstrous. I think that's like his struggle. I think it would be something along those lines.
Well, someone who has a different sort of struggle. Playing Nick, Ghost Rider, our amazingly corrupt friend who has done some terrible deals. Bubbly Cream Soda, how you doing? Where can we find you? What's the future for Ghost Rider? What's that last bit for next time on the Monster Week?
Hi, you can find me at Bubbly Cream Soda on Twitter, and pretty much that is the only place you can find me because I don't use social media all that often. Um, in terms of what I'm doing, I kind of just post art there on occasion, because I'm also dealing with being a university student. But aside from that, I'm just gonna, since I don't really have anything else to plug, I'm just gonna take a moment to remind everyone to do what they can in these times to focus on mental health and knowing where to set the line of this is too much and just do what you can to help you out. There is nothing wrong with limiting yourself and knowing your limits. But I think for Ghost Rider in particular, let's see. I would say Ghost Rider in another issue. Let's go for something a bit more mundane for him, considering everyone else's exciting lives. I think Ghost Rider is just working on his motorcycle, and Neve is there trying to explain magic to him. And he is just telling her that everything she is saying is inscrutable. Nothing can be scrutined from what she said.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, as for me, hey, Ray, Pope here, Pope World Bill on Square, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of this ridiculous face, every other Sunday on Matev 7, you can catch us for Masks Sunset City, where I play the ultra sad, ultra angry mythos with a bunch of other wonderful mythfits. And then occasionally you might catch me on a channel here and there, but that's future spoilers. First and foremost, I want to thank these amazing cast members here for putting up with my ridiculousness and my tyrant like murderous tendencies. And I've had an absolute delight storytelling. This was a whole lot of fun, nerve-wracking, but fun. Now, before more plugs and thanks for our sponsors, let's get that stinger. So before we do the highlight reel of next time on Monster of the Week, where we see Mikkel throwing his hammer down, fighting some demons, as we see Neve pestering Ghost Rider as he's working on his bike, souping it up, parrot flittering in the background. As we see Eris sitting alone in a well-appointed room with a journal, just looking about to cry, as we see both Eris and Nifos confronting a monstrous Medusa somewhere, somewhen, in a crumbling ruin. And as we see Neve, before we see Neve, with crowns of light and eyes of flame. Before we get to that highlight reel, we pan back to inside the church, and we see Mikkel lay their hands upon Eris. Everything goes right for once, and life comes back into Eris's body. Immediately, Eris goes to look at Neve, who is in an absolute daze. Mickle rushes, lays on hands, but nothing happens. No lashing back, no healing light. Nothing. It is a mystery. As they all gather around Neve in this circle, and we see outside Detective Stern looking through one of the broken windows, seeing all of them gather together, the blood, the gore, the everything, just with a little notepad, scribbling things down. That's the stinger for Monster of the Week. Now, I want to thank, of course, you joining us live, you watching VOD, you on YouTube. Thank you so much for being a part of this. You're as much a part of the story as we are. We could not do this without you. Thank you. Please, by all means, join us over on Discord. Hit up that One Shot Wednesday section. Talk with these wonderful people. Discuss stories, make friends, have discussions, especially in this time of isolation. And by all means, if you are watching on YouTube, please leave a comment. We even have a comment of the week here over at Encounter Roleplay. So whether it's just hashtag Eris and Neve forever, or wow, Ghost Rider is an absolute badass, like, no, please do leave a comment there. And thank you so much for watching. I also want to thank the folks over at Modifius for sponsoring the channel. Check out their stuff. They're an amazing publisher. Star Trek Adventures is incredible. They just launched their on book, and you can catch that here tomorrow. Sort of Kalis. Tune in. Also want to thank the wonderful folks over at World Anvil. If you want to build a world, have a place for all of your thoughts, check out World Anvil. They're an amazing resource for storytellers, writers, etc. You can also catch some stuff for Eclipse, which is on Friday. They have a bunch of stuff up there for their Urban Shadows game, and also for Crownlands, and maybe this little show called After the Fire. If you like a song of ice and fire, check that stuff out. And also want to thank, let's see here, there's so many wonderful sponsors. Yes, Mage Hand Press, makers of Dark Matter. If you are looking for some extra stuff for your 5e campaign, whether it's just standard, they've got wonderful classes. If there is wanting to go into space using 5e, check them out. Incredibly fun stuff. But of course, we have to thank Helmgast. I'm going to implore all of you, if you have the constitution, the wherewithal, and the love of horror, stay tuned as we see the penultimate episode of I Am Pilgrim, a cult Divinity Lost game. It is going to be grim. It is going to be terrible. It's going to be a hell of a ride. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Chaos Chorus. Thank you for all of your donations, retweets, etc. And with that, I will let you know, this just in, there is going to be another season of One Shot Wednesdays. So keep your eyes peeled here, folks. There's many a story to tell. And if you had one shot, what game would you run? Catch you next time.